The African film everyone should watch. You know, I'm a sucker for movies. I'm a sucker for good movies. I'm a sucker for really, 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 really good movies. So if this movie is good, I'm tapped in. Oh, I'm definitely tapped in if this movie's a good movie. And it's African too. You know, I'm African, bro. I'm African, so I gotta support my peoples. Let's check this movie out. Let's
For
see.
many years, the common idea of world
Let me know if the
cinema
audio is
history
too
in the
wide.
West was pretty cut and dry.
Too loud.
Japan, for the most part, you had Kurosawa, Ozu, Mizoguchi. Russia, Eisenstein, Dovzhenko, Badovkin. India was Sajid Ray. And Africa, the entire continent, was Usman Semben. But as the years went by, thanks
We
to
had filmmakers
writers
in
and
Nigeria too,
curators and
but
distributors who saw
like Nollywood was mostly for like it's just drama, bro. Like not too crazy.
out the rest of the
Still
work,
thinking about the ears.
this extremely narrow story kept getting wider and wider.
Maybe.
In Africa, Semben was by and large the great inspirational figure, I mean a real father figure. But before him there was Gadala Gubara from Sudan.
Gadala Gubara.
And there were other artists who made their first films shortly after Semben, like Suleiman Cisse in Mali, Umaru Ganda from Nigeria, Bed Hondo from Mauritania,
Yeah, we have
and from
filmmakers in Nigeria
Senegal,
too.
Jibril Diop Membete. Unlike Semben and Cisse, Membete had never had any formal training when he made his first picture. He just picked up a camera and started shooting. He made only a handful of films in his very short life. He died at the age of 54. But each one is very special
Pizza, bro.
and has its own unique energy.
Midnight Showing presents Tuki Buki, the African film everyone should see.
Most people know that man, Martin Scorsese.
If it's good, I'm gonna add it to my list.
Goodfellas and The Wolf of Wall Street, but he's also a
Oh,
leading
that was
champion
Scorsese.
of films from around the world. In 2007, just after winning the Best Director Oscar for his film The Departed, he helped start the World Cinema Project.
I gotta watch The
with
Departed.
mission
I haven't
of
watched it yet.
restoring and sharing important films from underseen regions. As of making this video, the project has restored 70 titles, including works from countries such as Syria, Kazakhstan, and Burkina Faso.
That's
One
actually
of
a
its
big
earliest
W.
restorations was Jibril Diop Membete's Tuki Buki from Senegal. This film, released over 50 years ago, stands as one of the most exciting, beautiful, and unexpected films you can stumble across. Tuki Buki and the other works from the World Cinema Project are a testament to the infinite, wonderful world of cinema out there when
So
you,
many
in the
cows,
words of
bro.
Bong Joon-ho, overcome the 1-inch tall barrier.
I
of
wanna go
subtitles.
experience that.
But even then, it feels like whenever movie lovers branch out into the world of so-called foreign films, they always end up in the same few places. Some will look towards the acclaimed region of Asia, like Scorsese notes, towards Kurosawa, Bong Joon-ho,
Kurosawa.
Park Chan-wook, or Wong Kar-wai.
Yo, I gotta
while
tap
others
in,
will
bro.
turn towards
Yo, I gotta tap in with like artistic films and like just art, bro. Like I need to tap in with art, like good art, cause bro, like good art, bro. It brings something out of you, bro. It brings something out of your heart. I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like recently, the good art that I can think about that I was watching JJK, and like the angles they were using, bro. Some of the angles they were using in some of the scenes. I know it's anime, but some of the angles they were using it, bro, like it just evoked something in me. Like it's something I had never seen before. And even 100 meters, bro. That movie is pure art, bro. There was no like barely any soundtrack, barely any music playing in the back. Just like natural sounds, bro. The crickets, the wind, footsteps. Like it was just so natural. It's pure art, bro. And like you just get the emotions from the characters. It was so good, bro. I definitely gotta rewatch that movie. 100 meters is so good. Anyone watching this, bro, you have to watch 100 meters, bro. Such a good movie. But I need to tap into like to good art.
recognized European movements such as Italian neorealism or the French New Wave. These are all great introductions to cinema outside of the English language, and sites like Letterboxd and the growth of the Criterion Collection have only helped to broaden the palette of movie fans
What is
across
that?
the world. Within this expansion
Willem
of the
Dafoe.
global film canon, an entire continent has seemingly been ignored. Africa. Not in the award-winning American-told stories like Out of Africa or Blood Diamond, but instead
Yeah.
the rich tapestry of films made
Like
by people
by
of the
African, bro.
continent,
By
harnessing the
Africans.
tools of cinema to tell their own stories. That's what this video is about. I want to talk to you about one of my favorite films of all time, Tuki Buki, and why
Tuki
it's
Buki.
absolutely worth your time.
Yo, what
Don't
boat is
worry,
that?
I'll keep
Paddle
things
boat?
spoiler-free, but first I want to help situate the film within the historical moment it came out of and shine a light onto why African film in specific is worthy of
Look
your
at my
next deep
peoples,
dive.
man. My brothers.
Storytelling on the continent of Africa existed long before cameras arrived, as oral traditions carried history, memory, and imagination from generation to
So
generation.
pretty, bro.
Cinema, however, emerged in different places and
pretty.
at different speeds throughout the 20th century. Egypt and Tunisia developed film industries among the oldest in the world, and in 1935, the Studio of Egypt in Cairo opened as the first major studio in the Arab and African worlds. This studio produced popular comedies and musicals, yet directors like Kamal Salim signaled a deeper ambition with films such as The Will, which has gone on to be recognized as one of the best Egyptian films of the 20th century. Yusuf Shaheen pushed that ambition further with Cairo Station in 1958, a genre-blending work that anticipated bold narrative
Black and
risks
white, bro.
and helped shape modern Arab filmmaking.
Yo, black and white. You're gonna eat dinner? Yo, what you eating for dinner? I'm gonna guess you're eating frozen pizza and dino nuggies. That's what you're eating with a side of cold Sprite or a cold Coke. Yep. And condiments is ketchup. I know what you're eating, but I can see. Yo, black and white movies, bro. Black and white movies be making you like, when you think about the old days, you imagine the old days in black and white. Like, it wasn't until like I was like probably like 19 or 18 when I realized like, damn, like they actually did have their own color back then. So like, even though I see this in black and white, they saw it in color. So it was kind of weird. It's kind of weird to think about it like that.
Yet legal and political barriers ultimately shaped who could make films.
Like that
and
water
which
was blue
stories
for
reached
them.
audiences. While Northern African cinema got a jump start, in the French colonies, the 1934 Laval Decree specifically sought to prevent Africans from making their own films in fear that it would
That's
lead
messed
to
up, bro.
resistance movements. Instead,
Yo, fuck them Europeans, bro. Fuck you. It's still fuck you, bro. It's still fuck you for all the bullshit y'all were doing. Fuck you.
happened was many
I don't care.
international productions coming in and presenting the continent as a backdrop or spectacle.
And they're still doing
instead
it too,
of
bro.
foregrounding African perspectives.
Controlling our resources and
But
bullshit.
much like the rest of the world, something
Is that Fidel
changed in
Castro?
the late 1960s. While the new Hollywood movement swept through America and brought about directors like Scorsese and Spielberg and Robert Altman, there was a different kind of wave happening across Africa in the world of arts, as decolonization and a new artistic energy converged across the continent. The year 1960, when 17 nations gained independence, marked a decisive moment that amplified Pan-African ideas and gave the continent greater diplomatic presence on the world stage. As African countries remade themselves politically, filmmakers found stronger grounds to tell their own stories with their own cinematic languages.
So
That
pretty,
decade
bro.
set the stage for a film culture that moved beyond external portrayals
We had
and towards an
Nollywood.
image rooted in local realities, experimentation, and aesthetic risk. With these movies abandoning the Western lens of focus, African cinema emerged as a method of liberation, a reclamation of history and narrative. One of the leaders of that movement was Ousmane Sembène, deservedly recognized as the father of African cinema. Trained in Moscow and dead set on making the first sub-Saharan
Moscow.
movie made by an African, he achieved that in 1963 with his short Barom Saret. He followed that up in 1966
Saret.
with his internationally acclaimed film La Noire de, also known as Black Girl, which I couldn't recommend more highly. Around the
Gotta
same
tap
time
in, bro. I gotta
Sembène
tap
was
in.
emerging as a master of the craft, another voice
Hyenas.
was forming in Senegal. Djibril Diop Membete came to filmmaking through instinct and curiosity, learning by shooting films.
Like,
wherever
this
he
is what they
could
used to
and
watch
shaping
back
his
then, bro.
style through experiment.
Now we got, not pray tell, what might this video be? With the African film everyone should watch. So this is the African film that you should watch. Bro, nowadays we got 4K, 8K, Ultra. Sinners. I already watched it. It was a good movie. Sinners was a good movie. But Sinners isn't African. What's I gonna say? Made me lose my train of thought. No, but back now we have, like, what film is it then? The name of the movie is Touki-Bouki. Toukibiouki. I think from Senegal, he said. But we're still watching it, bro. We have a long way to go, twin. You're gonna be alright. Bro, this is less than 240p, bro. Nowadays we got 8K, 4K, IMAX, Ultra HD, all the bullshit, bro. 3D. Like, who would have thought, bro? Who really would have thought?
That restless, self-taught energy would soon produce one of the most electrifying debuts in cinema and change the direction of African film forever. Born to a Muslim
Was that a
parent,
cigarette?
Mambeti discovered
I'm gonna
cinema
leave to
by
go watch
sneaking
that
out at
movie.
night and listening to
All right,
films
bro.
from
Let me know when you're
inside the
back.
cinema. He trained in acting
Oh,
and worked
mangoes.
briefly at the National Theatre before being expelled for disciplinary reasons. After
What?
that expulsion, he decided to take filmmaking into his own hands, and at 24 he made the short Contra City, and then in the following year he made the short Badu Boy, which won the Silver Tannet Award at the Carthage Film Festival. As a self-taught director, Mambeti carved out his own path, keeping some distance from influential figures such as Sembène or Med Hondo, whose films often embraced a more direct, audience-facing, and politically instructive style. Mambeti's scope was focused on the people of the streets, who he called the only true, consistent, unaffected people in the world.
People
for
of the
whom
streets.
Every morning brings the same question: how
Survival.
to preserve what is essential to themselves. That vision led him to
I need to
Tuki
get
Buki's
a
first feature
digital
film,
camera.
which focuses on Mori and Anta, two young lovers who are tired of their lives in Dakar and dream of escaping to Paris. Mori is a cowherd who rides a motorbike decorated with a bull's skull, and Anta is a university student who feels disillusioned by her surroundings. The post-colonial era reshaped life across
I can't even imagine, like, going to university, you know, you're getting an education and you're like getting exposed to different things and like different things in life, but you still have to live like a I don't know, bro, like a destitute life. You know, like I guess that's what he's trying to say. Like, she's disillusioned. Like, her environment and what she's learning is like very big contrast. Education makes you want more for yourself, is what I'm trying to say. It makes you want more and better for yourself. Because if you're not educated, you know, you only know what's around you. Once you educate yourself and learn things and you see things, it makes you want more for yourself. It makes you want better for yourself. That's why education is really important, bro. And education is not. I'm not just talking about like going like academics. Education, like seeing different people, seeing different perspectives, traveling, stuff like that. You know, it like opens and expands your mind, bro.
disillusioned by
Everyone
her
needs to be
surroundings.
educated.
The post-colonial era reshaped life across Africa and the way its artists started to explore it. In Tukibuki, Mambeti builds an avant-garde masterpiece that pairs playful anarchy with a vivid, lived-in portrait of Senegal after
Tomatoes,
independence.
man.
He
Those look good.
reconfigures cinematic tools for the African context, giving his work a true sense of individuality. To return to his own
Oh no,
words,
they fine.
a filmmaker must
Yo, you know what that looks like, bro? Yo, this is the baddies before baddies, bro.
true
Hold
sense
on.
of individuality.
This is baddies
To
before
return to
baddies.
his
They
own
boxing.
words,
Hold on.
A filmmaker must go beyond the recording of facts. Africans in particular must reinvent cinema. The choice has to be made. Either one is very popular and one talks to people in a simple and plain manner, or else one searches for an African film language that would exclude chattering and focus more on how to make use of visuals and sound. With a budget of
I
only
need a digital
$30,000,
camera, man.
Jibril Diop Mambeti sought to reinvent cinema, and in Tukibuki, his avant-garde retelling of a classic road story, he managed to do exactly that. I fell in love with Tukibuki the very first time that I saw it.
Look at the
Its
culture, bro.
title in
The
Wolof
rich
means
culture.
The Journey of the Hyena, and the film opens with a beautiful long telephoto shot of oxen crossing a plain towards the lens, slowly growing
Cows.
until they fill our screens. It's the kind of thing you'd expect to see on the Nature Channel, except the following shot jilts us back to the reality of the situation as our peaceful image
that
is
cow could
suddenly
actually kill
interrupted by
someone.
the sounds of harsh, noisy slaughterhouses nearby. This is not the only instance of animal cruelty in the film, and it understandably makes people squeamish. But this violence is not purposeless. I actually think it's Mambeti confronting the expectations of his viewers. The nature in Africa is often portrayed from the outside looking in. Whether that's safari visits or nature documentaries, the beauty of its landscapes and its animals is often detached from the reality of the people who live amongst these lands. This is the same
Oh, no, that
rationale
car's
that
stuck.
sits behind colonialism, the ability to extract people and resources from their land without
Fucked up,
seeing
bro.
their humanity. Through this violent intro, Mambeti is confronting the reality of what sustains rural life with a quick analogy that speaks to the structures of colonialism itself. In post-colonial Senegal, city and countryside, tradition and modernity, African and European values sit uneasily beside one another. Mambeti frequently weaponizes that friction with
Yo,
what
what
he
happened to
shows
my
us on
dog?
screen. The question hanging over the film becomes apparent from that very first image. In a world this unforgiving,
crap.
can one young couple escape it without finding themselves
So
chewed
do they
up
even
by
do they even talk in the movie? I'm not seeing no
that very
talking.
same system? Together, Mori and Anta chase
Oh, no,
money
they talk,
and
they talk.
paperwork by whatever means they can find, hoping to buy their way out of Dakar on a boat to Paris. As their plans unravel and reform, reality keeps sliding into fantasy and everyday life starts to feel dreamlike. Mambeti frames their escape as part of a larger tension between local traditions and Western influence. The whole film moves with the uneasy mood of a young nation still wrestling with the promises and disappointments that followed independence. Light on
Facts.
plot, Tukibuki derives its power from its composition. As you're watching this video, I'm
Whoa,
sure
what's
you'll
going
see
on?
many beautifully composed shots as Mambeti employs his striking visual style to the picture.
Someone
It's
died?
honestly amazing what he achieved through such a small budget. As the couple weave through the city, the film drifts through markets and street corners that come alive with vibrancy. Mambeti's editing and bursts of color inject a sense of vitality that feels absent from Mori and Anta's restless pursuit of escape. Pastel clothing pops against bright white and yellow buildings, turning ordinary streets into something almost utopian. Amid the film's chaos, Dakar
How clean
emerges
it
as
looks,
a
bro.
vivid paradise of its own, and for a brief stretch, the couple seem to share in that joy. The film keeps pulling Mori and Anta back into the landscapes and traditions they hope to leave, tying their dreams of departure to the places that shaped them. The recurring image of the bull runs throughout the film, carrying echoes of strength and sacrifice while also mirroring the couple's stubborn drive. Like a charging animal, their desire pushes forward against odds, and that horn symbol comes to embody, amongst many other things, their fixation
That
on
boy
the
ate
promise
sand,
of the
bro.
West. Tukibuki carries clear traces of the French New Wave in its DNA. By 1973, the New Wave had already reshaped how directors thought about the form, and Mambeti borrows that restless energy in his use of jump cuts, roving tracking shots, and montage, all of which echo Godard and the wider Nouvelle Vague while settling into a distinct West African voice. But beyond style, the New Wave pushed personal, low-budget filmmaking into the spotlight. Films like Hiroshima, Mon Amour, and Breathless came together on
Hiroshima,
keystone
Mon Amour.
budgets
What could that
and
possibly be
techniques
about?
born out of necessity.
Hiroshima, my
Tukibuki
love.
follows in that path. The cast is entirely made up of non-professional actors, and the film is shot in the very location in which it takes place. Both of these factors help to keep the film rooted in the local
It's
reality
real.
of the story, but more importantly,
It's
it's
really
a reminder,
real.
much like the French New Wave, that beautiful stories already surround us, embedded in our everyday lives. And the influence of French culture doesn't just come from the New Wave. One of the most striking elements of the film is the use of Josephine Baker's song Paris, Paris, Paris. Throughout the film, the same 14-second fragment repeats over and over. That loop fixes the song into a
Paris.
kind of short-circuited dream of Paris, loud, seductive, and constantly on the verge of arrival, much like our couple's journey. Set against Senegal's early years of independence,
They end up making it?
this is a period of time where the country was still trying to find its place in the world. Independence may have arrived in 1960, but Mambeti shows that colonial power persists through culture, shaping cinema, language, fashion, and the very desires people carry. Through the visual and narrative tension between traditional Senegalese life and Western influence, Tukibuki probes the complexities of decolonization and the challenges of forging a truly autonomous identity. Paris functions less as an end location for our protagonists than as a powerful symbol that shapes how people imagine themselves and their possibilities. That tension carries through to the final moments, as Mori and Anta confront the choice between remaining in Senegal or stepping into a life in Paris. I won't reveal their decision, but just know that it carries tremendous meaning against the backdrop of the film. Tukibuki may be a bit difficult to fully appreciate upon first viewing. Its rebellious structure and chaotic editing choices are certainly unique amongst African films from its time period. Right from the
What is that?
start,
What
it
does that
also
symbol
presents
mean?
a vivid scene of animal slaughter, which can challenge or unsettle audiences. Yet when you look beyond the heaviness of its content,
Yeah, I was talking to my friends about this. Like, if there was an apocalypse, bro, I low-key might just go vegan, bro, or like just only eat fish. 'Cause I actually can't see myself like sliming like a cow or like a goat or like deer or like a rabbit. Yeah, it's like it's just too much, bro, too much. But I'm guessing if I was about to die, I probably would kill a cow to eat it. But man, it's just so bloody. I don't like blood, bro.
Ibuki is undeniably a vital piece of not just African cinema, but more importantly, it's a vital piece of world cinema. A film that's testament to the power of independent vision of
Senegalese
both the
wrestling.
director and the nation they're from. All of the things that make it hard to
Oh
watch are the
damn.
very same things that make Mambeti one of the era's most audacious and inventive filmmakers. At its heart is a raw and electrifying portrayal of a universal human yearning for escape and identity. Dark comedy and bright colors hide a deeper narrative about longing for a better life while still holding to the traditions that shaped you. Mori is a wonderful protagonist, larger than life in mannerisms but also in meaning. He functions as a stand in for the nation itself. The future may feel difficult and uncertain. You may want to turn to
Wait, what
external
happened?
forces. The future may feel
Someone
difficult and
die?
uncertain. You may want to turn to external forces for escape, but maybe another path forward exists. A heartfelt, experimental, and incredibly beautiful film to look at, Tukibuki is one of the primary examples that Africa
That
has
clean
some
car.
truly astonishing artistic.
Some
Is one of the
Mercedes?
primary examples that
Mercedes actually
Africa
been
has
doing
some
their thing since
truly
way back then,
astonishing
bro.
artistic potential when it comes to
Don't ask
cinema.
Mercedes what they
It
were
should be
doing during World War
celebrated
II.
and revered far more than it has in the past. Now immortalized in the Criterion Collection through the World Cinema Project, there's no better time to take a chance on Tukibuki. So if you're looking for a film that will broaden your horizons, challenge your expectations, and introduce you to a cinematic voice unlike any other, then do yourself a favor. Check out Tukibuki. Don't believe me? Listen to one of our greatest living directors instead.
Tukibuki was conceived at the time of a very violent crisis in my life, said Mbete. I wanted to make a lot of things explode, and that's just what he did. Tukibuki explodes one image at a time.
W vet. Oh, chill on me, my demon. That's a W video though. I gotta tap in, bro. This just the whole thing just makes me want to travel to Africa. Like I want to travel to Africa, bro. I wanna go back home, bro. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back to my home. I wanna go back to my home. I wanna go back to my home. What am I doing, bro?